1 week ago, I uploaded a video to my YouTube channel titled Tati. This video was a direct response to the video that Tati Westbrook uploaded to her channel titled By Sister. Before I say anything at all in this video, I want to make it very, very clear that everything I said in that video in regards to my sentiments towards Tati and my apology, I stand behind 100% and still reign true. I know I got emotional in the video, I apologize. It was something very, very hard for me to deal with, especially when it came to talking about my very own mother. In Tati's video, she discusses many of the different reasons as to why she was choosing to close a chapter in her life that I was heavily involved in, making many of our private issues very, very public, and now millions and millions of people have weighed in with their opinions and speculations on subjects that they honestly know absolutely nothing about. I will not ask for sympathy, and I will definitely not ask for forgiveness either, but I will ask that you watch this entire thing all the way through before forming any further opinions or talking about this story more. Hello, Future James here, popping in quickly. I know doing an insert in a video like this is not professional, trust me, but I filmed this several times now, and as time keeps going on, more and more things keep coming out into the public, and more people are speaking on the situation, and it is very important to me that this video has all the information, all the facts, all the receipts, and is current and present because I will not be addressing it again after this matter. This morning when I was editing this video, I noticed that last night, Tati had uploaded a video to her channel called Why I Did It, and this morning, Jeffree Star was on Snapchat talking about the whole situation. First and foremost, I do want to issue a thank you to both Jeffree and Tati for taking some of the responsibility for blowing this whole thing up and for starting everything. I really respect that a lot, and I also appreciate the fact that they are trying to redirect the hate away, because I think we're all aware at this point that it has gotten way too far. The past week on the internet has been the darkest I think we've all ever seen, and it's also been the darkest time that I've ever had to go through in my life, and my thoughts got to a really scary place. Watching Tati's video, it's clear to me that she also is in a really dark place as well, and has been pained by this whole situation. If I've known anything about Tati over the past 3 years, it's that she has a huge, huge heart. There's no denying that, and I think that, or I do believe her when she says that she did not want this to get so vile. I don't really think any of us thought it was going to be as big as it really was. In both of their videos, Jeffree and Tati both mentioned that they hope that I'm able to change and that we can all move on from this situation, and trust me, I agree. There's nobody that wants this over with as much as I do. But in Tati's second video and in Jeffree's Snapchats, they both said that they stand behind everything that they mentioned. And unfortunately, there have been allegations made against me because of these things. And I don't really feel comfortable just moving on from those. I would like to take this video today as an opportunity to kind of explain everything that has happened and address literally everything. There's a lot that happened behind the scenes leading up to Tati's video, and there's a lot that happened behind the scenes and publicly after Tati's video, and I feel as though it is my responsibility to kind of let you guys in on those, because there's a lot of misinformation going around and it's just not really good. Just like Tati said in her video, this whole situation is a lot bigger than just vitamins, and I think anybody who's kind of followed the situation is well aware of that at this point. Trust me, I am too. There are way bigger issues here that I will be discussing and talking openly and honestly about later on in this video. I have a few notes in front of me here, and I want to make sure that I hit every single point and that I don't miss anything. But that being said, to get to those issues, this did start with vitamins. It was kind of the catalyst, so I want to make sure we kind of go in order and you guys are able to get the full context and full story of everything that has happened. Starting off, my friends and I all attended Coachella weekend 1 from April 11th through 15th, and I had an artist pass provided to me by a brand. We had a really, really good weekend. I mean, you guys saw the Snapchats, Instagram pictures, and outfits, and my video. It was really, really fun, and we will definitely never forget it. But at Coachella, I had drama with a boy that I had been talking with for 5 months prior, and it all kind of clouded the overall memories. Later on that very same week, on April 19th, my best friends and I in the family group chat made the last minute decision that we wanted to attend Coachella weekend 2 again to kind of relive those memories, but boy-free. I texted my manager, Jake, that very same night asking if it'd be possible to get us in for the next day since it was already Friday, meaning we're missing the first day of the festival, so therefore we could only go on Saturday. Because it was so last second, we were only able to get VIP tickets, which is not the same as artist, but we headed over anyway and wanted to have a really, really good time. For those of you who may not be familiar with Coachella, I do want to quickly clarify the different passes just because it kind of is important to this whole situation. VIP, although VIP, is still very, very open to the public. Artist passes, however, are passes that you cannot buy. The only way you can get a hold of them is through a brand getting them from the actual festival, or through having a personal connection to one of the artists or bands that are playing. It's in a very, very highly secured area that is not open to the public. Along with artist passes though, there's also something called a performer pass and backstage passes and a lot of other things that can keep you more protected. Keep in mind, weekend 1, I did have an artist pass. Weekend 2, I had a VIP going into the situation. When we walked into weekend 2 with me and my friends on Saturday, April 20th and Sunday, April 21st, we noticed that there was a major difference in the crowd. We were in the VIP section and I started getting mobbed really quickly at a super unsafe capacity because, as many of you guys know, whenever we stop to take a photo, kind of other people tend to come and it just turned into a big situation, and it honestly was not safe. I had remembered from weekend 1 that my friend Nikita Dragon, who I was with a lot of the time, was brought by Sugar Bear Hair and had an artist pass, personal security, and backstage passes and was very taken care of and safe. When I felt unsafe in the situation, I panicked and I texted Nikita and asked her if she had a connection to the Sugar Bear Hair team that could potentially help me out. Nikita replied right away and she gave the Sugar Bear Hair team my personal phone number, to which they reached out to me and offered to come rescue me with a pass and backstage access and security to make sure that I was okay and was able to enjoy the festival along with my friends.
You went to Coachella, somehow had a security issue, and magically Sugar Bear Hair is there with a contract in hand to save the day for you and all of your friends. No company would ever go out of their way to have an extra, handful of passes that cost thousands of dollars a piece, like just in case. That leads me to believe that this was orchestrated beforehand, but he had an emotional conflict because of me and promises he made to me behind the scenes. So he had to come up with a very clever story and didn't tell me right when he got back, but after the little bit was posted on their launch day.
Despite what Tati said in her video, this whole situation was definitely not a big scheme that was orchestrated beforehand. It really did happen on the spot. The Sugar Bear Hair team texted me the proposal right away. No money was involved, and with no time to negotiate, in a panic, I signed, and that was that on that.
James Charles, he had 9 days after Coachella to talk to me.
On Monday, April 22nd, which was one day after Coachella, I was due to post my stories based on my contract. And up until that moment, I honestly had not thought about the fact that Tati was a Sugar Bear Hair competitor. And in that moment, I thought that as a friend, she deserved a courtesy text to let her know the context of the sponsorship and everything that was going on.
To not even get a phone call, to not even get a text a few days prior, but right after that sponsored post went up, to have a text like, "Hey mom, love you, I'm stressed. Just so you know, XYZ, I just did this post, but it's no big."
Before posting my stories, I actually did text Tati first out of respect for her, giving her heads up about the sponsorship, but she was immediately upset. I tried my best to kind of explain the entire situation and also give her a direct apology as well, but at this point I had signed the contract and I absolutely had to post it. There was no getting out of it. I then headed to the airport and took off on a flight to San Francisco. And by the time that I had landed 1 hour later, Tati had uploaded all of her Instagram stories of her crying, talking about the friends of the community that haven't really supported her, how she was alone, and how she felt very hurt and betrayed. Very quickly, people put 2 and 2 together and realized that this was clearly about me, and I started getting thousands and thousands of tweets and comments and texts about the whole situation. Throughout the next several hours, I made countless attempts to text both Tati and her husband James, and many phone calls as well, trying to reach them, all of which they did not respond to. And later on that night, while sitting in my hotel in San Francisco, because I could not reach Tati, I issued a public apology directly on my Instagram because I really wanted to make sure she saw that I was sorry, and I wanted to end the situation by taking full responsibility for my actions. Over the next several days, I made countless attempts to contact both Tati and her husband James on all their different phone numbers. I texted and called Tati's business number, her family number, and also James's personal phone number as well. After a full entire week of trying to reach out and handle things in private with Tati and her husband James and getting no response, I figured at this time it'd be best to just respect their space, give them their privacy, and that whenever Tati was ready, she would reach back out to me to handle things in private and hopefully move on with our friendship. That is everything in regards to the Instagram stories. Now that we've talked about that, I want to discuss a few of the things in Tati's video that were misleading and false.
The reason that James always said that he couldn't promote Halo on his channel and really do heavy endorsement was because he has a teenage audience and it would just be inappropriate.
Now, this line was just confusing to me, mostly because this conversation never actually happened. If you guys know my channel, you would know that I don't really do dedicated product reviews ever, which is what Tati is known for. But even though that is the case, I've still multiple times talked about her products on all my social media networks.